Hi, my name is Ivan.
And I'm Ian.
And we are II Automods.
So today we are joined with two very special project cars, which is the G87 M2.
And I believe these two colors are the best colors to cop. This one is the Zandvoort Blue, and this one is the Sao Paulo Yellow. And let me talk you through all the modifications we installed to make these beasts even better. Good morning, guys. This episode will be something special. It's going to be another milestone that will be marked here at I&I. And we are here at our favorite dealership where our journey started at I&I. So if you have been following our Instagram, our YouTube channel, and Facebook, you would know that our story started with the F87 BMW M2 competition back in 2019. We are back here. It is April 30, 2025, and we will be unveiling to you our newest project. This one will be extra special because we are going back to our roots. So this one I'm excited for you because we got the color we wanted. The F87 M2 competition, we got it in a Hockenheim silver colorway. That was the launch colorway for the competition line. And this one, right under those sheets, here at the releasing bay, this is going to be our new project car at I&I.
So right before we unveil our car, let us see what other M cars are in store here in the showroom. So right behind me, we have an M3 Touring, and then to its left is a green M3 CS, and as well as matte white right behind it. And then to its right is the all-new i5 M60. So actually for all of these cars, we have a bunch of mods that we can do for them. So for the body kit, we can do kits from 3D Design and as well as Alpha N. And then for the wheels, we can do Strass, Dillinger, BC, Rohana, etc. And then for the exhaust, there's a bunch of stuff we can do. Miltech, FI, Capristo, 3D Design, so on and so forth. So with all of these cars, you have a bunch of options that you can choose from, and just send us a message and we'll give you the best of the best for all of these cars. So now, let's go back downstairs and unveil our car.
This is it, guys. After 4 months of waiting, upon ordering it here at BMW RSA Green Hills, we got the spec we wanted. And under those sheets holds the new addition to our I&I fleet, our new project car for 2025. Let's get right into it. Let us unveil it to you guys right now. Presenting to you guys the new I&I shop car. This is the new BMW M2 G87 model in Zandvoort Blue finish. What do you guys think? We personally find it beautiful. It was worth the wait. It took us 4 months till it came here. Finally, end of April, we got it. And this car is gonna go under a major makeover later. from the dealership, we are back here at our design studio at II Automods. And finally, we have all of the parts laid out for our 2025 G87 BMW M2 project car. Right here in front, we will be upgrading the headlights. These are the OEM BMW adaptive headlights that move the direction you turn left and right. What we're doing here is a full carbon body kit from Alpha N. Alpha N makes the best fitments and the best designs, in my opinion, for the G87 M2 platforms. They specialize on modifying M cars. So we're gonna be doing the kidney grills from Alpha N. We're also gonna be installing the front lip of Alpha N. This is where things get exciting. The side fenders. Check this out. This is the V2 flare and the side vents, which give it a meaner look. So this car, apart from, the stock look, it's gonna have more, meaner fenders on the sides. Before I head on to the back, let me show you the things we're gonna be installing in the interior. Of course, we got our JQ Works magnetic paddle shifters. They sound amazing, they feel great. Very solid, aluminum, carbon fiber, can't go wrong. Apart from that, we're doing a KW height adjustable spring set. So we're gonna be flushing to the fenders. These new wheels we're gonna be installing, which I'm gonna get to you guys in a second. Making it better and cambering it a little bit in just to give it that really good stance. Now, here on the sides, you can see we're doing the mirror caps. These are Alpha N as well. These are side rocker blades. Here on the side, we have the wheels we're gonna be installing. These are BC forged 2-piece modular wheels. We're doing a 20-inch configuration in the front and 21-inch on the rear. So if you actually look closely, they may look similar, but the front wheels are different from the design of the back wheels in a certain way. So attention to detail. This is the MLE 90 front. The one I showed you earlier was the MLE 93 on the rear. So same finish, different design. The inspiration to this build is dating back to the old school BMW looks, that of the E46 and the E30s back in the days. So you guys are very familiar with the mesh design wheels that BMW did with BBS back then. Well, here we also wanted to do the motorsport look because Alpha N's vibe is similar. And since we're doing the wing, which I'm gonna get to you guys again in a second, since we're going retro, we're gonna be doing this design. MLE 90, if you see, has less mesh than the MLE 93, which goes hand in hand because you kind of want to show the big brake kit up in the front, which is a big 6-pot caliper by BMW M Motorsport. Let me bring you over to the rear where things get all the more exciting. Check this out from Alpha N. So you guys who are big motorsport geeks, you would know that this thing is not common to be placed on a BMW M car. This is the rear skid plate. It's as big as that of the 992 GT3 RS. We're pairing it with the Alpha N rear diffuser, also in carbon finish. Those two, hand in hand, enhances the exhaust even more because they bolt on spot on perfectly. This is the wing we're going with. This is the retro style Alpha N's wing, or their modern take to how the old school BMWs were. Check this out. This is so light, like, look at this. I can easily maneuver it all around. This is real carbon fiber. Look at the attention to detail Alpha N does to make this look fantastic. And check this out when we install it. Look at that fitment and look at the look we're gonna go with. This is insane. Wow. Anyway, more on that when we film the car first because we don't want any swirl marks or scratches. We're gonna be doing a full FI catback exhaust system with a single mid-pipe and the catless downpipe. The catless downpipe's incoming because we had a dummy sensor placed. to make sure the check engine doesn't come on, because we're not gonna tune this right away. We're gonna be doing a few other tests, such as chip tunes from 3D Design and other brands that we work with. So we place the dummy sensor so as not to trigger the check engine light. Let me bring you here. These are the carbon tailpipes from the FI exhaust system. It's gonna go well with the carbon tidbits we're gonna be installing on the car. We did not leave out anything on this build. The GTS hood up in the front is actually at the paint booth right now being painted because we are going with the full Alpha N look. We did not miss out on anything here. This is gonna be a full build and it's gonna be exciting to unveil once done. So stay tuned because inside and out, this car will be modified. Apart from this M2 Zanvert Blue unit, so we're also gonna be modifying a Sao Paulo yellow G87 M2 in a full Alpha N body kit as well. He's getting everything right here as well, except the wing is different. We're going for a motorsport wing, and that one I can't wait for as well. So now that I've walked you through all of the parts we're gonna be installing on this G87 M2, let's proceed to the install. So as you guys have seen on our Zanvert Blue shop car, we went all out with all the Alpha N carbon bits and pieces. But right behind me, we got another G87 M2 going all out on a carbon overload, but this one on a Sao Paulo yellow finish. I can't wait to show you guys what we have in store. Now let us start with the front fascia where things get very exciting. You can see all of these carbon bits and pieces right in front, and they will all be placed on the car, starting with the hood. This is the Alpha N Club Sport hood. And the difference of this one versus the Zanvert Blue shop car we're doing would be the vents. So on our car, we have the front U vent up here, which is an actual vent, which will give better ventilation. But this one we're doing here is slightly different. We got the vents left and right that will be placed here. So there will be cutouts here which will be replaced by this carbon trim. When you put it here, it will be coated with gloss top coat to give it that shine, but we're gonna do body color to make it match. This is gonna be very interesting. This is the only car so far in the Philippines that will be doing this hood. We're also gonna be doing the Alpha N grille. So same as our shop car. You got the Indiv inlets. They're very beautiful to accentuate this part and give it a 3D look. Now, up here, where things also get very exciting, this is the Class 3 Alpha N retractable front spoiler. It's also in the carbon material. And to let you know the feature of this, basically if you want more clearance from the ground, you can retract the front lip and it gives you more clearance. If you want this to a car show, if you wanna, show people what this car has, then you put the front spoiler out to make it protrude more, give it more, an aggressive stance, an aggressive look, and voila. That's what this retractable spoiler is all about. Now, here also we got the full Eventuri carbon program. You got the full intake system, 2 filters because this is a twin turbo S58 engine, and of course, because of all of the carbon bits and pieces that will make this car over 700 horses after an ECU tune, you will definitely need all the cooling you need, and that's the reason why we got this vent to give it functional cooling. Apart from that, you also got the Eventuri strut brace. Here you go. And the best thing about all of these parts, if you get genuine parts, brands that are very known in the industry and doing their best in working on their craft, on the workmanship, then you also get the serial numbers and the branding on every part they have. So here you go in Alpha N, every part is labeled with a serial number. There on the hood and everything. Before I forget, we're also doing the carbon fiber engine cover from Even 3 to make sure all of the carbon bits and pieces possible on your engine bay is covered. We are doing the Alpha N V2 fender flare similar to our shop car. It's got these blades and the vent as well, all functional, of course. We're gonna be doing it in body color. So stay tuned for this. This will be very exciting. For the sides, we're gonna be doing the M Performance mirror caps. Here you have it. So it's gonna be a head turner from the side angle, seeing a few accents in carbon fiber. And of course, since this is an OEM M Performance piece, you are guaranteed 100% fitment. Now, these are the 3D Design Japan side skirts. Here on the rear, where things get more aggressive as well, with a very aggressive front, comes the need for a rear end that looks just as, head turner. To make this car a head turner, we're doing the rear skid plate. Look at this. This thing is huge. If I were to compare this to a GT3 RS 992 rear skid plate, this one would definitely be almost the same size. I'm sure this is light. Check this out. Very, very light. I can hold it with just one hand. Very beautiful piece. And apart from that, we're doing the Alpha N carbon rear diffuser. And something different from our shop car build, this one is a swan neck carbon rear wing. Also very lightweight. Check this out. I can really carry it with just a few fingers in one hand. And you also got the mounts, which are very nicely done. This is aluminum. Now, this car has a lot more mods coming your way, but here we are emphasizing all the carbon bits and pieces this car will be having, and I just can't wait to install all of these because this car build will be epic. So this car is in a full Alpha N carbon body kit, and it's personally inspired from the E30 and E36 M3. That's how Alpha N built the shape and the accents of this car, their body kit on this car. And let me start with the front fascia. Right in front, you can see the carbon kidney grille, and it changes the 2 or 3 slats of the stock one. This one's just got the 1 slat, so it actually enhances the size of the radiators. And we also installed the mesh to make sure stones don't hit the radiators. Right in front, you got the inlets, you got the front lip. So this is actually the less protruding front lip, unlike this one on the right, on the Sao Paulo yellow, which we'll get to you in a second. If you guys want more clearance, then this one is the version 1. It's less protruding and has more clearance from the ground. So that's what we installed on our car. Furthermore, we added these adaptive BMW LED headlights. So this is usually how the M2s in other countries come with. This is the higher spec headlights, so they follow the direction you guys steer towards. It's also got the beautiful LED strip, which looks like menacing eyes. This does not come stock yellow, by the way. So we added a module to make sure this becomes yellow. and we have it on hand, so just message us if you want it. We also replaced the middle part. So if you can see, this is a full carbon from Alpha N as well. This is a new piece they just recently launched. We were able to take them off to give it a bigger look in front. So as we move towards the side, let me talk you through what we did here. This is Alpha N's vented bonnet. So as you can see, it's in a full carbon material. It's very lightweight. As you can see, before we installed it, I have a video of carrying some of these carbon panels, and they're really light. You save a lot of weight. We also exposed the carbon fiber here to give it a more aggressive look, but body colored this area in the middle and the other parts of the hood. This is the V4 carbon fender of Alpha N. Why V4? It's got the vents here, and right here also, it's got that added flair, added cutout that makes this car look so menacing. I personally love the fender so much. V4 because you got a lot to play around with this. If you're not a fan of the vents here, you can choose to get the full carbon without the vents and leave this cutout. V2, you also got the option to have this carbon here, and then you can play around these two basically. Moreover, to the side, you can see we did the Alpha N carbon mirror caps. Personally, I like the mirror caps because they're different from the M Performance one. As you can see, the horns are more subtle, but they follow the curve right here. Looks so beautiful. Of course, let's not forget, we went with 20-inch up front BC Forge modular wheels. This is a two-piece finish. You got the polished lip, the graphite gray centers. You got the BMW center caps, and we were able to spec this to fit 285, 30, 20 Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. Up on the rear, we went with 21-inch wheels. We were able to fit 305s on the rear. So if you want to go as wide as you can with a setup, I suggest we do custom forged wheels. We also lowered it on KW height adjustable springs for better fitment. But of course, because we still have a few more other things to do, we didn't lower it too much. We made sure to still have a little bit of 3-finger gap. But we're gonna be lowering this once we're done with all of the things. Furthermore, let me walk you through here. We went with the side skirts in carbon fiber as well. This is the 3D Design Japan carbon side skirts because Alpha N did not produce a side skirt for the G87 M2. Right on the rear, this is where things get exciting, and this is where the heritage of BMW comes in. As I said, this wing is patterned or designed after the heritage of the E30 and the E36 M3, and you BMW lovers would know that's a very iconic model on the BMW M lineup. And I really love what Alpha N did on this wing. Why? Because if you think from the back, it's just a normal boxy wing that follows the E30 and E36. No, they added a flair to it. So if you see this, it's not flat. It has a curve going upwards. So it actually has a sort of aerodynamic touch to it. And it looks nicer because when you look up close, you're like, oh, it follows a certain pattern because look here. This is the one that bolts onto the stock trunk. And it's also got an upwards flare to it, which I personally think Alpha N did a great job down to the detail, and that's the reason why we're very proud to be carrying Alpha N here in the Philippines. Apart from that, of course, we went with the Alpha N carbon rear diffuser and the under tray. The under tray is as aggressive as those of the Porsche 992 GT3 and GT3 RS in a full carbon finish. So it's very lightweight, very strong in material. And of course, to make sure I'm safe from all of the gravels, the dirt, we added Sleeplo lip guards. So usually with customers that are scared of scraping their front and rear, we have this on hand, so feel free to message us at II Automods. Of course, we went with the most aggressive sound we can go with. This is the full FI exhaust Valvetronic system. We were able to find the deepest sounding note, and we're glad to say that this is one of the exhaust systems I would recommend for this platform because it does not sound very raspy, especially on higher RPM, which I'm sure you BMW owners kind of wanna remove. Some want it, most remove it. So we also got downpipes installed, and we haven't tuned this car, and it doesn't have the check engine light on. So if you want to know how we did it, just message us. We upgraded the intakes of our car with Black Boost official intake system. This intake system is made in Dubai, and when we spoke with the brand, what I personally liked about them is that they personalize and they really develop intake systems that enhances performance a lot more, and also enhances the sound, the turbo hisses, and the satisfaction being the driver. Every time you step on the pedal, you really hear the airflow come in, even when you step and hit at 2.5k RPM. It's very loud, and I personally find it so satisfying. So let me step on the gas to make you hear how good this car sounds with the Black Boost intake system paired with the FI exhaust full system with downpipes. Of course, we also have the Mad Trace magnetic paddle shifters in ionized aluminum and carbon finish. It's got these textures at the back to make you really feel the haptics when you upshift and downshift. And the good thing about this is the sound feels so good, it's so crisp. It feels very solid because of the aluminum feel. It's in a brushed gray finish, that's why it gives a nice accent towards the overall cabin. But the good thing about the Mad Trace magnetic paddle shifters is it works with your OEM steering wheel, but it replaces the stock mechanism of the magnetic paddle shifters. So you get that nice touch inside the cabin. Now, without further ado, I'll take it on to Ian for him to walk you through the Sao Paulo Yellow M2.
So you guys just got a full comprehensive rundown of what we did to our shop car. And for this Sao Paulo Yellow, since it shares a couple of common parts, I will just be focusing on the ones that are different from this Danvert Blue. And don't you worry, it'll be much shorter. So starting off here up front, we have a different hood. So this is the Alpha N Club Sport hood. And as you can see, it has two additional vents right on top for additional cooling. And then up front, as you can see, it's way more aggressive, and that is due to the three-piece front splitter from Alpha N. So this one right here at the very bottom, it is actually adjustable, so you can move it a bit more forward for additional downforce, or you can keep it all the way back to save you from all those scrapes. And then additionally, we installed canards at the sides to give it that very track-focused look. But before we head to the sides of the car, I want to show you guys something very special. So allow me to pop open the hood and show you what we have right beneath it. So here we have a carbon fiber overload. So these are all from Eventuri. So what we have is an Eventuri full carbon intake. And then we also went over to swap the plastic engine cover with the carbon fiber one, and as well as the strut brace. So now let's give the car a couple of revs to hear how it sounds. So as you can see, it is full madness right in this engine bay. So now moving on to the side of the car, we installed, of course, BC forged wheels as well. This one is the HCK 196 with a brushed clear face and a polished lip. So we configured this with the hidden hardware, and as you can see with the HCK platform, it comes with these air pockets around the face, giving it a very unique look and for additional air cooling. And then we also went over to body color the brake calipers, and the car is also lowered on KW height adjustable lowering springs. So here we also installed an M Performance side mirror, which is actually different from what we have on our shop car. So the only difference is it doesn't have this diagonal slat running through its side. And then moving on to the back of the car. So right up top, we installed an Alpha N Swan neck spoiler, which I personally really love. It looks really good, and it actually flows down together with the quarter panel of the car. So this spoiler is actually very functional. So you could adjust the angle of how it tilts to your liking. So it could be a bit more flat or this diagonal for extra downforce. And then if we move to the lower part of this car, it also shares the same as the one in the Zandvoort Blue. So this one has the Alpha N rear diffuser and the underbody. And then for the exhaust, we went with an FI full catback exhaust with a single mid-pipe, but then this one is louder due to the catless downpipes that we installed. So now let's move on to the interior of the car, since we actually swapped out a couple of items from its stock form. So starting here at the side, as you can see, we have carbon fiber door sills from M Performance. And then similarly, we installed JQ Works magnetic paddle shifters in carbon fiber and aluminum for that snappy feel. And then if you look closely here in the middle, we also swapped out the armrest with a full Alcantara M Performance one. So those are all the modifications we did to the Sao Paulo G87 M2. So now let's take these two cars out for a spin and take some rolling shots. So there you have it, two fully modified BMW G87 M2s. And let us know in the comment section down below which you prefer, our shop car in Zandvoort Blue or this Sao Paulo M2.
Now, if you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For more car content, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at iAutomods, because we got a lot more projects in store for you car lovers. We love sharing the passion we have for modifying cars, spec to your preference. So support us. Be sure to say what you think about our builds, because we love getting your feedbacks, because it also helps us become better. Stay tuned. We got more content in store for you guys.